Okay, guys, let's continue.
يلا يا المس يعطيكم العافية.
Let's continue. I lost electricity, sorry. Okay, let's continue. We were in paragraph 8. So we said that Stephen Hawking wrote a book. The title of this book was A Brief History of Time. And this book was the reason that everybody knew this person, or everybody got introduced to Stephen Hawking. Okay? This book was published, as we said, in 1988, and the title made the Guinness Book of Records after it stayed on the Sunday Times bestsellers list for an unprecedented 237 weeks. So this book was the bestseller book for 237 weeks. Okay, it sold 10 million copies and was translated into 40 different languages. Okay, so you can tell how important this book is by just the number of the sellers. So it sold 10 million copies and was translated into 40 languages. So this is a very important book. Everyone is excited to read. Okay, let's continue. I want someone to read, please.
Me.
Zainab
Can I read?
Yes, Zainab.
Can I read?
Please.
In 1985, during a trip to CERN, Hawking was taken to the hospital with an infection. He was so ill, but the operation saved his life but destroyed his voice.
Okay, so here there's also a turning point in his life. Now he is suffering from a motor neuron disease. He cannot move his body. He's sitting on a chair, on a wheelchair. He moves on a wheelchair. And now he was, in 1985, he was in a trip and he was taken to hospital with an infection. Something happened to him. He was so ill. The operation, the doctors saved his life, but destroyed his voice. We do not know details about this, okay, but this is what happened. So now he cannot even speak. He has no voice anymore. Let's see what happened. Lamar Sharafuddin, continue, please.
Hawking has argued that for humanity to survive, it must spread out into space, and has warned against the worst applications of artificial intelligence, including autonomous
weapons.
He spoke also of death and an eventuality that sat on a more distant horizon than doctors thought. "I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die," he said. "I have so much I want to do first."
Okay. Who was reading?
Lama Safiuddin.
Okay. Hawking has argued that for the humanity to survive, it must spread out into space, and has warned against the worst applications of artificial intelligence, including autonomous weapons. So he was against artificial intelligence, against all of these things that make a human smart, but for no reason. So he said we have to we have to discover the outer space. He spoke also of death and eventuality that sat on a more distant horizon than doctors thought. What did he say? He said, "I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die." So he's not afraid of death, but he doesn't want to die. I have so much I want to do first. So he had many dreams to achieve. He had many goals to achieve. Okay? Hassan Sroor, read please the last paragraph.
Yes.
You continue, yes.
What astounded those around him was how much he did achieve. He left his 3 children from his first marriage to Jane So what is this word?
Grandchildren.
No.
What astounded those
Will did.
around was how much he did achieve. He left his 3 children from his first marriage to Jane Wilde and 3 grandchildren.
Yes.
What astounded, what made these people shocked around him was how much he did achieve. He left 3 children from his first marriage. So he has 3 children from his first marriage to Jane Wilde and 3 grandchildren. Okay, you know what I mean by grandchildren? يعني the children of his children, يعني أحفاده, his grandchildren.
The kids of his kids.
Yes, exactly. So he left 3 children and 3 grandchildren. Do you think that he was married more than one time?
Yes.
How can you tell? Answer without raising your hand.
He said his
Because he said his first marriage.
Very good, excellent, because they said from his first marriage to Jane Wilde. So it means Jane Wilde's his first marriage, but it means that he was married again, okay, or he got married again after her. So she was his first marriage, but maybe he got married after Jane, right?
Yes.
Yes. Great. Let's now move to this exercise. The statements below misinterpret some information in the above text. Rewrite them correctly so they agree with the meaning stated or implied by the writer. Lord Rees, the astronomer, admired Hawking, who worked for over than 50 years. Let's go to paragraph 4. In paragraph 4, Stephen's personality remained amazingly unwrapped by his frustration, said Lord Rees, the astronomer royal, who praised Hawking's half-century of work as an inspiring crescendo of achievement. How much or how much time did Stephen work? Who can tell us?
Half a century.
Half a century means how many years?
50 years.
50 years. In the sentence here, they said over than 50 years. It's not over, it's 50 years. So in paragraph 4, it is written that it's not over 50 years, it's 50 years or half century of work. Jane Wilder was the only woman Hawking have married. Is this true or false?
False.
Okay, so how can you tell? So we said before, we can tell from the last paragraph when they said it's not his first marriage, it's or from his first marriage, so it means that he got married again. Okay? Okay, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
We are not going to continue the exercises. I'm going to finish here. I'm just going to make a quick revision. So guys, our lesson is about famous scientists. I'm revising this because you need this in speaking and in listening. Our theme is about famous scientists. Genre is a biography, and I want you to know what is a biography, because you are going to prepare a biography about a famous scientist and upload it on Flipgrid as a presentation. I will tell you how later. We will talk about this tomorrow. So we talked also about chronological order. We said that chronological order is when we arrange our events in order, when we put them in the correct order. We said that it is found in biographies, especially as dates and a timeline. We talked about the flow chart. What? Yes, Lamar. Lamar.
My hand was raised from the.
Okay, so we also talked about Stephen Hawking, which is one of the most famous scientists around the world. We talked about his illness. We talked about how he overcame all the difficulties that he faced, how he made a very nice family, how he left an amazing legacy for his children and his grandchildren, and so on. So this is everything we discussed. We solved one exercise. Tomorrow we are going to continue with the exercises. We're going to solve 2 more exercises only. And we are going to, I'm going to tell you what to do with speaking. Of course, speaking is going to be graded. And that's everything for today. Thank you all for attending. I'm sorry for the internet connection that we lost more than one time because of the weather. And that's everything. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, miss.
Bye, miss.
Bye, miss.
Bye.
Bye.